Hello. Good morning. Got a lot of people here already. Excellent. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're enjoying the sun. If it's sunny where you are, it's been very sunny here. I've even been out and looking at the hammock now, which is calling to me. I'll do a mug reveal shortly. It's going to be a weird episode, I think, because I'm both angry and a bit sad. And then I'm going to try and tone police myself because that's what I have to do to stay in business. So, so it's going to be an interesting one. I'll go through some funner bits as well. So it's not just going to be me. What's the word? Lecturing anyone, because the people here, like, I can't think of anyone who regularly watches the shows that wouldn't know what I'm about to say anyway. But maybe because of my clickbait title, I've brought in a few more people who might not normally watch or something like that, that might maybe get a slightly different point of view. So yeah, I didn't cause any trouble this week. So there's loads of people. Hello, coming in there. So it was my first week back. I think I was here last week. I almost made an even more clickbait. It's not really what I do, but I thought, So and some folk will say I am ruining the hobby, so we will get onto that. And I did think, am I ruining the hobby? So it's not entire click onto that. And I did think, am I ruining the hobby? So it's not entire clickbait. But so I got back to work last week. I had that week off after Salute. Cyber Goblins got me. If there's a question in the title, the answer's always no. Yes. Oh God. Andrea said, what's calling to you? The hammock. The beautiful, beautiful hammock. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Also, what's calling to me is two guinea pigs on that side that are now they're entering the furious season, where if I go outside, it means that I'm outside eating all of the grass without them, because that's something that I obviously do. So they get really angry at me. So I have to return anytime I go outside. I have to return with at least some grass, or they just think that I'm what's the word? Stealing all the grass for myself. They've been out on the grass, so they've now got the absolute taste for it. So they've been heckling me. I had a wonderful breakfast that consisted of a baby bell, and the baby bell packet. They were like, it's like, it's just cheese. You can't have cheese. Oh, online just to see if it's a coincidence. It is a coincidence, not a coincidence. Not cheese. Nothing. I hope it's a hammock Hank Scorpio would be proud of. I reckon so. Worry you're assigning too much logic to the pig brains. They do. They suddenly get very smart when it's food related. Grass could be ruining the hobby. What mug have I got this week? It's quite overfilled, so I'm going to have a little. Was that an impression? They are kind of angry baby bells when you think about it. What? You never will surrender to a narrow view of gender? What? Mm-mm. Gary along just in time for the mug reveal. Good timing. Good timing. So, what have I got? I've got a very small amount of notes because I've been having this discussion with myself all weekend, and I am nervous because I know that things can get taken out of context. Annie's kicking off again, all that sort of stuff. So I may be pausing quite a lot to figure out where I'm going. And my hair is greasy. I was going to have a shower before the show. And then I was arguing, ranting to some chums online long enough that I went, oh crap, it's showtime. So I was back in work this week, catching up with stuff. There's so much to catch up with, from the move, Salute, and then my selfish week off, that I've made a dent with the orders. Most of the orders are caught up. It's just the odd one where I've gone, oh, I'm not sure if that's in the garage at the moment, so I've got to sort a few of those out. But other than that, it's running normally. It's the non-urgent emails, but it's ridiculous how many I have not replied to. So I need to do that before they go into the void. So I've been very busy trying to get back in the gist of stuff. Mum came up. On Monday was bank holiday. Oh God, I've only been in 2 days this week. That was my week back. So Monday was bank holiday. Mum came in Tuesday and Wednesday and helped pack up and sort of get me back in the zone. And I was back in the zone. Got loads of the resistance, the existing bits that hadn't been blister packed before Salute have now been blister packed, which is really good. Thanks, Mum, if she's still there. And yes, that was really good. So I had 2 quite strong days of just getting back to sorting some stuff out and catching up and all that, because I was just so desperate at the moment to be back into the miniatures design. As I said last week, I'm all over this World War II resistance and I need to get to it. I can't get to it because there's all this stuff in the way. And then I got so upset by something on Wednesday night, maybe. I think it was Wednesday night, that I ended up taking Thursday off work and did nothing because I did my I'm sad and don't want to exist for a bit, so I'm just going to nap. And then I feel worse because I've napped. So I did that on Thursday. Friday, I had some of my belongings still that North Star were kindly looking after at the old place. So it was my belongings that I then bequeathed to Fenris. So I messaged Fenris and said, I don't know if I'm in the office mood today. So are you? He was like, I will come over. So Fenris Ian came over and I've got something in my eye. I'm not crying. I just keep feeling it. Fenris Ian came over, collected some bits, helped me with a few odd jobs. We had some nice food. And I got a little bit of my faith in humanity back because Ian's a very good one, and had some good general grumbles about the state of the world and all that sort of stuff. So I wasn't in office on Friday, but I was doing some work things, moseying about, and I had a really nice time at North Star because I really miss them because I haven't seen them for ages. Well, since I moved, I've seen the odd one out and about, out in the wild. There might be one out in the wild later as well. But I miss being able to just pop in and just sort of be like, hey, hey. So that was really nice. And maybe got a few more plants. Went, oh no, the best place to have some good food is the garden centre. So I guess go there. So yesterday, I know I'm dragging on because I know I might get a bit emotional through my major talk, so I'll get everything else out of the way, and in case I need to suddenly bolt. So yesterday I was gardening all day. My garden is now the positive takeaway from this video. So my garden is so cool now. I just haven't had a chance to do anything, and I love it, and I was doing lots of digging. You can tell my nails still can't get it out, and sorting out indoor plants as well. So yeah, it was. I almost did the show Friday night, and then I thought about doing it Saturday morning, and then I thought about doing it Saturday night, and then I thought, I can't do it on a short notice when there's no real reason, because I don't want to mess people out too much. So I thought I'll do it Sunday morning, but I kind of wanted to get it out the way. But here we are. Although I'm going to the pub after this, so that's my treat afterwards. Well, not the pub. There is also Liquid Light Brewery in Nottingham. It's in the centre, but it's a little bit out of town. But it's like you can park in the centre and walk to it. So sniffing away now. It's been outside. It's a brewery, and they're having a tabletop market, and it's on today. If you're anyone in the vague vicinity, because it's obviously short notice me mentioning it. I did mention it last week. It's a little tabletop market. It's nothing huge, but it should be quite nice. Off the top of my head, I know Mammoth Minis, Kraken Games, Caesar Inc. I know friends' names, but not their companies. Whatever Barn does. I don't know what Barnaby's company is. Void Scar are going to be the Element. I assume we'll just have some GW and glue or something. If they have glue, that would be a very wise choice. I'm not trading because I knew that I'd already be knackered, and I'm glad that I'm not because of this week. It'd just be good, oh, I've got to do another thing. Whereas I get to turn up, drink beer, chat to my chums, and head off whenever, rather than a heavy day. So that's nice. Hey, we've even got Chris Webb here. Hello. Look at that. A lot of pressure of all these people here. And Annie destroys her company. It's fine. I saw the garden centre are hiring at weekends, so I could at least do that, you know. So something very small happened. I think it was Wednesday evening. It was because I couldn't sleep. That was it. Because I ended up in Andy's room watching him buy all his different tickets to events. And I can't sleep. Um, so something very minor happened, very trivial. In the world of the internet, it happens all the time. I never want to be that guy. But then the thing that was the issue was it kind of escalated. And this whole thing isn't because of that one issue, because that would be small, but it's also not small. It kind of just brought up a lot of kind of sadness I have within parts of the hobby. And I feel I kind of want to talk about it, but I also don't know where I'm going to ramble off to. So Kate says run out the guinea pigs for grass cutting duties. That would be very good. They've made a crop circle in the garden because they won't move, but they'll sort of butt to butt and then rotate. So it is a proper crop circle, which has got me thinking about crop circles again. Um, so so a minor thing happened. So it got internet got out of hand, and it's kind of created some talking points. Made me think about how I run my business. Am I doing the right thing? Am I going to ruin my business? And yeah, I feel it should be talked about. So I should actually just get to it. Because again, I'm aware that people that probably aren't watching this are like, oh God, she's dragging it out into a video now. I'm not. I'm not. Don't have beef. I do have beef with one person. That's it. But it's if you've spoke to me this week, it's not you, so it's fine. The one person won't be watching this anyway. I don't know why I started getting a bit whispering. It might be here. When I discuss anything in any Nottingham pub to do with industry, I have to do that because they always could be somewhere, not in a big pen. Not like so let's go. Let's go. So I make I make quite a few, not enough to be fair, gay vignettes. Um, very rarely have problems with it. Though I've had problems with all my stuff. And somebody said that, you know, I need to be thicker skinned, and I had to explain that I am thick skinned because I have to fight off stuff all the time and not turn a blind eye, but just ignore things, or I couldn't do anything because it's all the time. And occasionally, if I'm not in the great mood or something's just exceptionally bad or anything like that, then it does get through because that's how it works. And I'm just so um, beaten down by stuff that, yeah, occasionally something does bother me. Um, so, I've got to get in the right order. So I posted. It's just so banal. I posted a thing in a forum and people didn't like it. I shared my Noogie vignette, which is one of my favourite minis ever, and it makes me so happy to see it. So it's two ladies, one's an Amazon, one's a dwarf, doing a Noogie doesn't translate across different languages. A few people have gone, "What's that?" And I'm like, when you get someone and go, "Rah!" They're generally just messing about. And I made a little photo with that. And when I share around in different groups on Facebook, I'm always aware because I don't want to be that guy who's always just spamming. And I get that so many groups just turn into people sharing the business pages. So a lot of time when I do, I'll put a little bit of text. I won't spam on every single group. So at least if you're not in them all, you don't get, you know, Ali has posted in 50 groups. So I'm quite careful with it. I don't, you know. So I shared that. And I only shared it into one group. I know two, because I shared it in Baggy's Cave as well. And I thought that's a nice photo. So yeah, it was my little gay ladies under a lovely Fenris moon bridge with some of my angry shrooms on top, going, "Wee," which are like aggressively supportive mushrooms. So they're just up there, just because I went, I kind of want something that will go, what will fit on there? Oh yeah, the mushrooms, cool. Um, so so yeah, I posted that, didn't think any more of it. And then I think later on in the day, I'd got what was it? In the cave. I'd got a notification saying someone liked your post. And I thought, hang on, it's been there all day. We only posted it on Wednesday early. And I thought, well, surely more than one person must have seen it by now. So I clicked, and it only had one like, which is unusual if it's a very large group. And then I saw you've been restricted. So it says you have been restricted. Your posts are restricted till Friday. You can only post once a day. I thought, oh, have I been spamming by accident? So I checked my thing and went, oh, I post in there about twice a month, and I'm really conscientious with it. So well, it's not that. And then I thought, don't want to kick off. I don't want to jump to any assumptions. Got my own assumptions, but I've learned now from my younger days of kicking off, and then maybe it's just something that everyone who owns a business has had put on them, and I've only just noticed it, and it just so happened to be after that. So whilst I was not happy about it, I thought I'll give, I'm not, there's no point kicking off. And I know what it's like running groups. Been involved in forums back in the day, and I know it's just like petty arguments all the time. Someone kicks off because you've accidentally pressed the wrong button, all of that. So I was thinking, but we'll see. And I posted on there something like, oh, not sure why this post has got me shadow banned. So shadow banning is where your algorithm is heavily limited, so that while stuff's not banned, it's still there. Barely anyone can see it. So I thought this post's clearly been shadow banned because the fact it's only got one like, and I've got the restriction. So I posted that, and then I think it's a bit later on in the day, the post then got locked. I think my reply had got deleted, and then the thread was locked. So then that's even more, because once something's locked like that, people don't see it. So there were 3 different actions taken on nobody seeing my lovely gay vignette that wasn't an advert or anything like that. But they had loads of adverts, so it's because I was thinking, is it an advert? So what was it? So at that point, I thought, someone has done an action here, and so I'm now extra not happy, but I'm still not going to kick off. So I thought I'll wait and see. So I went to bed, woke up, and I'm going to have a sip of coffee between my tail. I feel it's important to tell the events. Um, and then I'll also go into how you can totally see this as a non-issue, but then what makes it an issue, which is kind of, I'm going to be going into people who mean well and are nice people, but just don't have the maybe experience by not being a minority or anything like that, or just haven't thought about things that way, because that always happens. There's always, just not thinking of things because you've never had to think about it that way and stuff like that. So that's what I want to go on to. But so Cybergomp says applying a restriction, but is a dumb move on their part. The thing is, though, I delete posts in Baggy's cave, and I don't tell anyone why. This is where it's going to be revealed that I'm a terrible moderator. Usually, it's if stuff, because I just don't have time. I'm running through. It's usually if somebody's. Well, I don't delete them. I have approval on, and it's usually because it's not allowing it in the first place, and it will be things like it's shared from a group with a privacy setting or whatever, where you can't see it, or it's been posted earlier in the day or something like that. So it's probably then gone, I should make sure that I give people reasons when I do this a bit more because of that. I don't want anyone to think, oh my god. It's usually, or it's like we're not allowed viral guinea pig videos in there, stuff like that. So I'll just delete them before they get in. But yeah, I probably should just message so nobody thinks, oh no, Annie's angry or anything like that. It's normally just like, nope. So again, I've got, I get that. I get you don't have time, especially with very large groups. You know, if you give every single person a reason, nobody gets paid for moderating on Facebook groups. Maybe they do on the absolutely enormous pages or something, but it's people's spare time. So I'm really aware of that. Um, so so we're still given a little bit of benefit of the doubt. And then when I woke up, the page had changed its rules, and it said, as of now, here are some more rules. So I was like, well, what are the new rules? Because I've been through the rules the day before, going, what have I messed up on? So it was, it's like, oh, is it the anti-spam? So that all businesses can only post once a week now. And I went, yep, that's fine. That's far more than I've been posting anyway. I think there were a few more bits, and then one that was like the usual, you know, we won't tolerate bullying for all of this stuff. But then a new bit at the end said, but also don't promote that stuff either. So the only rule I could figure that I had defeated, and the only rule that I'd broken was by promoting gayness. That was the only logical one I'm trying to figure out because nobody was telling me what I'd done wrong. Promoting gayness seemed to be the only one that I was like, but what? That's no. So there was then a new one going, you need to contact anyone who's got oh, that was it. Another rule said, don't go off on one without contacting admin. I went, a rule made just for me. I hadn't gone off on one. I'd gone off on one to Andy and to some of my mates. But I hadn't gone off on one specifically for what I'd said before, just to make sure, for my own self-preservation, in case it ended up being a mistake or something. I thought, oh God, if they think that's me, so just me questioning it was an issue. So I went, okay, I'm gonna contact an admin. One of the admins, I know to be pretty homophobic and a bunch of stuff, a bunch of other things that I won't go into. And I thought, well, I don't want to message him, who I'm pretty sure has done all of this. I'll message some of the others. So I messaged some of it, but it's really hard because you message someone that you're not friends with and they might not see it. So I messaged a couple of the admins, one of who I know, not mega personally, but from being around, and a totally rando guy. Sorry, I'd never heard of, but he was very helpful actually. So yeah, so I messaged them and just said, I just want to know what I've done, really. And they didn't seem to know. They were both very helpful. I'd like to say that. I have no issues with those two guys that I chatted to. Really helpful. Robert's just going on promoting what now? And yeah, they without dragging the story on further. They're very helpful. So I appreciate that. So thanks to those guys, if you're watching, the guys that I chatted to. And then so they were looking into it for me, and I was trying to be patient because I was also like, and having to be very polite because that's the only way I've learned that I can deal with things. Because if you get a little bit angry as a woman, you're kicking off. And it's if I would go off on one. It's like I haven't gone off on one. I've been gone off on because all of these new rules were in caps on the page. Oh, then what happened? So then the rules changed. I think one of the admin messaged and went, "What do you think of this new rule?" And it was the like, I think the don't. Yeah, they said, "Oh, yeah, that is a bit odd. It does look like don't promote gay." So it changed again, and it was really aggressive and in caps again. I went, "Not sure about that either." And then by then, I think a couple of people on the group had sort of gone, "What is this? You know, what's going on?" So then there was a bit of a discussion, which was nothing to do with me. It was nothing to do with me because they'd announced they changed the rules. A few people had looked at the rules and gone, "This is a bit questionable." But as always, then it's like, "Oh, it's my fault. I didn't do it. I didn't tell them. I didn't, you know." But it's then all on me because I've obviously got a mob to do a thing which I hadn't. Because I was waiting for confirmation either way, so I could either shut up or kick off. So I didn't know which way. And then I think the rule changed again. and it was just getting more and more aggressive. I'd then been sent another message through from another admin that was aggressive, and and at this point, I'm like, I'm being really told off, and I don't know what I've done. Um, and then when it finally, the owner of the page, that that guy, he he then posted up with like, this has taken up our time. It's been the shenanigans. The shenanigans have taken up a lot of my time. I'm very busy. And I'm thinking, I had a day off because I was crying about it. It was rubbish. And I still don't know what I've done. So it was like, what have you done here, you horrible woman? Um, and I think I'd replied on something and said, look, I just want to know what I've done. No one's told me what I've done. Um, and the owner of the page replied saying, we don't have a problem with your minis or whatever, because one of them looked like a bloke anyway. I was like, cool. So you're calling my lesbian model a bloke whilst saying that you're not tolerating any sort of homophobic. Okay, cool. And then locked it so you can't do anything. And I've been fighting the entire time to not just storm out of the group because it's a nice group generally with loads of lovely people in there. I've been there for 10 years, but there's this certain group occasionally where it feels like I'm kind of here new and in, like, as a lot of people will agree. That you're new and you're in to ruin the hobby with woke. It's like, I've been here the whole time. Time. I've never been told off. I got an argument once in there because I shared that the guinea pig minis had raised X amount for guinea pig charity, with picture of the guinea pig models, and someone had put, "What's this got to do with wargaming?" I'm like, because they're wargaming figures. That what? um. So what do we got? Where do we get to? So again, it's all very sort of petty and minor. But I very much feel from that one particular person there was something going on. But we will get into the plausible deniability of stuff where you could just say, no, you're overreacting. And then majority of people will look at stuff and go, does seem like she's overreacting. What actually, it's like fluffy and greasy. I'm not selling selling it very well, am I? Let me just have coffee, and then because I need to go on to the next bit to say why all of this actually matters. So you can't go yet. No one's allowed to leave. So what have we got? Um, yeah, then he quit. then the guy running the page quit. I went, this whole series of events is because I posted some cuddling ladies. Let me check the calendar. So let me check the calendar. But my calendar's the medieval dicks calendar, so I didn't show that anyway. But it is hard to look at my calendar and know what year it is. Medieval dicks. I'm always trying to read my mug whilst I'm talking about medieval dicks. It was very poignant for the moment. It is one of the Grace Petrie mugs, one of the all-time coolest, bestest, and funkiest singers. The album's Queer as Folk that I got. She was the one I got to sign my sign my porcelain guinea pig thing. Um, so I think I figured out what's happened. Got loads of comments. There's no someone going. I was there. Oh, Peters needs to get going out, but here for the gay perspective rant. It's fine. I'll give you Pete's maybe at the beer thing later. I'll give you the rest. The rest of the rant there with my pint of very nice ale. It's a very nice brewery. Um, so also thanks for going off this long drawn out, because I feel I need to give all the sort of series of events details again to get to my actual point of the context. So it's even more so if you're new to the channel or you've joined because you've seen a little bit of my drama and gone, oh, what's she on about? Please stick with me. You can always watch it afterwards on like a 2x. I do that sometimes with people. Still on 2x speed and get through it quicker. So what I think happened from talking to the very nice admin is that Oh, there's lots of stuff going on. So oh yes, somebody then, one of the admins did say that someone had reported my post. So, knowing computers to some extent, especially Facebook moderation, what I think happened is actually entirely innocent. I don't think I was picked on for any reason at the start. So someone has seen it and gone, I don't like those gays, and reported it. They've got AI moderation on the group or something like that, because it always does it on my group. It goes, do automatic moderation. I'm like, no, that way hell lies. But I get they make sense for massive groups when there's, spamming can destroy a group if you're not, if there's no human there for an hour, an entire group can just go if it's just spammed to death. So I think my speculation is, so this guy is totally a guy. This guy reported it to some random person, which set off the auto moderation thing, which then put the restriction on me. So it then restricted my account and put the shadow ban on, as a self-preservation sort of thing, which makes total sense. And I'm happy to go with that version of events. That's what I think happened. I don't think anyone from the admin team or anything like that went, yeah, we'll restrict her for that. Because, well, one, they've denied it, but also the other admins have said there's nothing on the log, and I know what the admin log looks like. And they're like, it's not there, so it's an automatic thing. So that is just unfortunate. So I'm extra glad that I didn't kick off. But then the responses to all that and how it all turned into the entire rules having to be rewritten, and my lovely lady being called a bloke because she's gay, or they all say no, the sculpting looked like so how it was handled turned into the issue rather than the actual thing. And then it made me sad because then I'm like, have I made all this up in my head? Am I being a victim? Victimizing myself and all this, and I spoke to quite a few people about it, and I'd noticed a trend, with some of the older straight men. Again, don't worry if you're watching this as an older straight man. I'm not here. I'm not here to come for you. But of the demographics of people I spoke to, that seemed to be the people that kind of said, like, just forget about it and move on, or very very nice, not in a dismissive sort of way, but that kind of like, don't let them get to you. It's just a forum, that sort of stuff. And because I've been gardening all weekend, I've been ruminating. So I've been digging all my plants and ruminating. And also, yeah, they were also denying that I had any sort of ban on. I'm like, but it's there. It's there. So that just caused, and yeah, the fact that it was then like, oh, we've had to use our time to sort this. I'm like, what about me? What about my time? And I was upset for me, but with these sort of things, like I used to get in arguments on groups a lot, as you can imagine. Anyone who's known me for ages will know I used to, when anyone does anything slightly, I'd be there going, "Ugh," and I don't anymore. One, for my own sanity, and also because it somehow reflects bad on my business, because they go, oh look, she's crazy, which I am, but that's different. So where are we getting at? I'm getting to the point. The point is near, I swear. So what was it? It's because I read comments at the same time. I go, brain's gone. It's gone. Oh, look, Inspector, your Instagram link goes to a different video. Oops. I've been posting that around it. Oh no, what video is it? Is it a bad Squiddo video or just some random video I've been watching? That would be terrible. Oh no. No. Is it the same video? It's just me going, oh god, what have I actually. Oh god, that's amazing. It could have been so much worse. You can see how red I've gone now. Oh my god, that's a nice. Oh my god. Because you go into your I think it must have just been Instagram. Um, it's amazing. It's a good sketch. Because I'd print screen, they had to like choose what else is in your clipboard, and I'm like, oh, there's a link to YouTube. It must be that. Oh my god. It's a clip from the Fast Show because I'd sent it to Andy and said that's what's going to happen if he comes because Andy's away at the minute if he comes home from his holiday. That was possibly the best clip from the Fast Show ever. So at least it's oh my god. That was the thing that was gonna end me, not my rant. Amazing. It is a good yes, you should go click that after this. It's amazing. The panic. The panic there. That's amazing. Sorry, I'll get back. It's his bum face. That's the best. He said he'd come back, he'd forget something and come back, and me and the guinea pigs would be like doing that to his room. Anyway, so whew, to the serious point. I have no idea where I was at. That's amazing. I've said that's amazing too many times. So, my rumination over doing the garage. So the people I spoke to, also there's that sort of phrase, which again, these are all well-meaning people, but things like, I don't care what goes on under the sheets or who anyone chooses to do it with. Can I keep it family friendly? See there? Um, and on my notes I've put not sexual. It always seems to go straight to the sexual, and then it makes it sound like you are then going, let's talk. And like, no, it's sexuality isn't just that. It's so much more, and especially again at a time now where everything's going the wrong way again. Um, and I think what some people do is the equality but not equity side. So it's like, well, I've treated you the same as everyone else, or something like that. And it's like, but that person that you may have treated the same is already, a few miles behind because of all the other things in the way. Um, so there's the plausible deniability of what's it of like, no, we're not being homophobic, we're not picking on her. It's she's kicked, but they're like, I don't know, it was, I kind of just wanted somebody to see why I was upset, um without them thinking that gone mental and jumped to conclusions. So what got me extra upset is that this week is Lesbian Visibility Week. I was going to say Lesbian Awareness Week. It's the same sort of thing. um and I'd already wanted to post about it, but I can't because if you, well, I can, I did on Instagram. I think Instagram wasn't too bad. It just depends on what the algorithms are in different places. But generally, if you mention um, the word lesbian, it gets flagged by all the bots as pornographic content. So that existence is awful. That's awful. So you can't even say the word without going, yeah, it's porn, I guess. So we won't show anyone. So what got me extra sad about people having issue with that post is that I'd already censored it to some extent. I hadn't. So on Instagram, I'd mentioned Lesbian Awareness Week. I don't know if I did. Maybe it was another post actually on Facebook. I can't remember. But I'd already been really careful not to trigger any of the, not triggering that, but not to trigger any of the AI or algorithmy bits with anything that might hide my post, because that's the daily issue as well. I think one got super down because I'd put the word trans in it the other day, because it was one that normally would have gone lots of posts with lots of people in do really well, and it had not. But I mentioned trans protest in there. Um, so everyone find your Subarus as lesbian and then their hills. There's someone local called the Nottingham Forager, and she's wicked. She's a lesbian, and I just before this I'd shared one onto my page because was it, she was posed next to a sign that said lesbians are everywhere. I'm like, ooh, ominous. I like that. Um, so I've already had to like, you can't be too proud because then no one will see the thing online. And these are business accounts. I don't care on my personal accounts who sees what. But on the business accounts, you get one post sort of knocked down, then it will knock down and it takes forever to get back up and all this. The alternative Chumbawamba song. Oh, what have we got there? Raven, I'm not a regular, but my wife is watching. I'm here because I had the word lesbian and automatically wandered over. Come to us. Oh, I'll just check my battery there because I was looking in that corner and went, oh, my battery. Oh, all right, fine. So yeah, it was just like I can't even say that, so I'm already self-censoring, and now that's too much for people. And it was all of that originally was just caused by one person that reported the post, but then the dealing with it was one guy being down outright awful, but then the rest being helpful, but also not seeing the wider picture, I think, and not understanding why I would be upset about that and why I would jump to that conclusion, which kind of was correct in the end. And I don't know if I mentioned this last week. It's just that like a lot of these um, a lot of these things are made possible by this huge chunk of people in the middle. And that's why I've been trying to not be that person with stuff that's not me. So I'm not trans, but I'm a heavy supporter of trans rights because I think there are too many people in that chunk that just go, I don't understand it, I'm not going to do anything. And then trans people are a very small percentage. So there's not enough. There's not enough to fight. You need the support of other people to be seen when there are so many other people against you. Where am I going? I'm getting the point. There is a point. I've still got people here, which is good. And I do keep seeing my greasy thought squared. Not all lesbians are greasy. That'll be the awareness that I do. God, look at it. It's like flat there, and then there we are. I'll do that. I'll go for the Bonnie Tyler. And I think that because I've been so tuned into that at the moment, that I kind of forget about my own rights. So it's like, oh, I'm being discriminated against here, and I need someone to help me. And the only way that action happened, that was it. That was the point. I remembered the point. Yes, don't have to freestyle it. So if it had ended, so in the end, I kind of apologised because I don't know what else I could do. I just went, like, I guess this is all down to me, and I guess I'll just not post much. Was thinking totally posting a vignette every week now. If I'm allowed to post every week and there's no restriction on posting gay stuff, giving you it. Luckily, I've got plenty to get through. But the only reason that further action happened was because a 48-year-old cis man said something. That's not how it should be, but it kind of is how it be. So I was so happy. I messaged him, and there was none of this was on my prompting. It was Curtis from Ramshackle. I only know he's 48 because he mentioned it recently. Because I was like, "How are you 48? You're like 28, surely." But Curtis had a bit of an argument on there, and it was because of him saying something that it had gone further, and caused the guy to rage quit the entire group. And it's just really poignant that needs to happen more. And unfortunately, the way the tier goes is that this is white man is at the top. And then again, people are like, oh no, she's supposed to be a gaming channel. Stay with me. So the more you can get that message further up, then the other people will listen. So I kind of hope that I do that with the trans issues. That I can at least then go, can some listen, man? So somebody else actually listens to this message. Just keep like bumping the stuff up. And I'm so happy. I was so happy that Curtis had actually done something without, because then people will go, oh, I bet she got into. I didn't say anything at all. He just did that because he thought it was crap. Um, so yeah, if that person hadn't have stepped in, because I was knackered, I was done with it. My argument couldn't go any further because I was done. I was done then. They can say that it was an accident. I'm over it. There's no more I can go with that without them becoming a shrieking harpy. But somebody else can then take that on. And every time I think something's and it's the bare minimum still. So like I did call Curtis a king. It's it's still, it's still not a huge deal, but the impact it has is so huge. So it's kind of reminded me as this call out of like, so many times it's not these very few bigots, it's the people not doing the things that just kind of allow it to happen, partly because it's a pain in the ass, and I get it. I totally get it. I don't want to get in. I see plenty of stuff and go, oh, I'm not getting involved in that. But we just need somebody to get involved, and then it kind of switches it around. um so again, it was seeing it in action, and with me as the person below sort of thing. Um, where am I getting to? Politics, the hobby. So that gets lumped in with politics, and then people go, "We don't want politics." Like, I totally get it. I'm not a no politics person, but I don't have politics as in modern day politics. Really, kind of let a little bit through, and maybe biased in my group. Um, because again, as soon as it starts talking literal politics, things get really heavy, and I get that it's so much work for moderators, again, in these mega groups, to involve themselves with, because you'd have to have a full-time job doing it. So I totally get it. You go, nope, nope, nothing that's not relevant to this, to the models or whatever. And I totally get that. But when stuff like, skin color or gender kind of comes into it, like, that's not politics. That's not politics. That's just people existing. So in my sadness, it was that, like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that my existence is a political statement. Great. So you then, people say, oh, I don't want politics, don't want politics. Or don't want to talk about, I don't want gayness thrust points to me. Don't want you promoting gayness. And like, I'm existing as gay. That's as far as it, I've got no one in there to promote lesbianism to, because I think most of the women there are somewhere on the LGBT. That's the topic for another day. There's no target audience for me. I can't promote lesbianism to these blokes. Drink coffee, coffee break. Here peddling the agenda. So like, um, but where are we? So yeah, the what's it? That combination, yeah, that gender and sexuality and all that are inherently political. They're not. It's just people existing. Um, but what is it? Yeah, it's that, to be able to say I don't. Oh yeah, just don't want it in the hobby. It's like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm like, yes, this we don't either, but we don't have the choice because we are inherently political. Um, so things, yeah, like, I guess people turning a blind eye, or not going, hang on, that didn't seem very fair. That's the major, and that's what people can do. So I do get, people saying, I'm an ally, but what can I actually do? It's that speaking up is so important. Um, and yeah, I get conflicted with that, because it's like, I don't need a man to, defend me. I kind of do as well, because that's how the world is. And yeah, the more people that group of people would listen to, um, is important. Don't, I've gone off where I'm on now with that. Um, Yeah, Googly let's go. Don't talk about what the Nazis did, but push the toys around non-politically. Yes, there's always political chat in historical war games. But yeah, it gets all conflated, and most people would agree. Oh yeah, I don't want that sort of discussion in a group about showing off our Napoleonics, don't really want to discuss current wars or whatever. Fair enough. So yeah, all this kind of spirals just from showing two women cuddling. Um, and yeah, it's just sad. But I would also hope, especially again, if people, because it's preaching the converted, because I've got the best followers ever. But if there's any new people that are kind of not living in that sort of gay world and just it doesn't come across your daily issues, which is fine. It's fine. But to just kind of be a bit more and think, oh yeah, crap, that does sound a bit rubbish. That you can't just breeze past stuff. And I am getting more reactionary to smaller things because I can just see this shift, and it frightens me. It frightens me that everything's going backwards, and then on the other way, we've got things like AI, and the crossover has been Nottingham Pride has got an AI logo. Like, ah! and I just feel like everything is going in like totally the wrong way that we're supposed to be as humans. So the more that people even just do, I said last week, like with Fenris not selling, giving away Tammy's really nice Leia Resist trans stickers, just all these tiny things um, that can make a really big difference. So you don't, although it's great to go out and, great to go out with placards and shout, and I am a fan of that, and I do that as much as I can. You don't have, that's not there's little bits in between. So if you think, well, it's not, I don't like crowds, or I don't have time, there's always little bits that can be done. So also, also that Bad Squiddo can't. Oh yeah, Daniel, I've complained because I'm on my complaining week. Apparently, I did say on the Knots Pride, like, such a shame when there's, Oh no, somebody in a chat said I said the nicer version, but somebody in the chat had said, uh, such a shame that there's no talented, creative people in the entire queer community. Very famous for not having that. Um, Oh, I need to. Yeah, someone saw a post for a history group pointing out other groups getting full of AI. Yeah, there was a video that was going around that I need to watch about that. But yeah, just stuff's getting crap, and I think you've got to actively fight against it. The passiveness isn't doing anything, and people being passive is allowing things like currently trans people's lives are just getting made absolutely horrific. And it's partly there's a very small amount of people that are there like actively, hating trans people, but it's allowed to happen because of the passive. I don't know much about it. I'm sure it's fine, sort of thing. But if yeah, that's that big, powerful chunk of folk in the middle that can make the difference. What have we got? Just reading the chat. Reading the chat. There's still people here, which is good. So hopefully I haven't lost anyone. And yeah, Bad Squiddo is inherently political. And again, I get being a company that goes, I'm just gonna. I'm not picking on anyone at all. It's just because it's here. It's an eye. But say you make these eyes, the creator of the eye is non-binary. Um, the you've got the eye and you go, I want to sell eyes. You don't need to sell eyes with the trans logo in your manifesto. Totally get that. But the nature of Bad Squiddo is from the entire start, it's been about this representation and diversity, and I can't separate it because it's what it is. And then in my sadness, I love this eye, by the way. um, in my sadness, then it's like I'm because you have to, every time you post anything like that, and I avoid it as much as I can on Facebook because that demographic seems to be less less friendly about it. Blue Sky, I'll post way more. Instagram, I will. Facebook, I'm still like, partly because then I'm gonna get all the backlash, and then it is a sacrifice to be outspoken, but I can't see any other way. I can't not. And then I get sad because I think I'm just destroying my business because a huge amount of my customer demographic are these people that don't care and just want to buy cool models. And I'm actively putting them off. And then it's like, but I also can't let down or can't let other things pass because that's the whole point of the company. Maybe, yeah, if I don't want to pick on the eyes. Maybe if I was selling pens, it wouldn't matter because I'm just selling pens. But if I'm selling pen representations, those pink Bics that only ladies can hold, that isn't that like so. Instead of there's the whole thing, obviously, with the trans bathrooms, and it's getting to the point of like, what are you doing genital inspecting? But maybe if they need the like what makes a woman, just say can they write with a pink Bic? And then if you can, you've passed the test. That was a joke. Just in case anyone's like, any calls for the pink Bic trans test. Um, but I think that would work. Um, but yeah, it's where are we? And I think yeah, because it's my business, my living, it's then all tied in, and then it's um I'm gonna lose people, and I know each time I post stuff like that, I lose people, and I know that it's easy to go, oh, bad, good riddance, whatever. But I still need to be making X amount of money in order to continue this, whilst um, obviously everything in the world is making business, making small business so hard right now. I saw a Kickstarter advertised yesterday, and I thought, oh, I really want to get in on that, but it doesn't exist yet because it's a Kickstarter and it involves being made in China. So I can't take the risk because I don't know if that's even going to exist, not alone what the price will be, but whether that company will go under from it. And it's like, well, everything is grim. Um, well, some good comment. I'm not reading that. Some good comments there. Um, I have no idea where I was going with that. What was I going? I totally forgot what I was saying as well. It's pretty cool. I got my brains when I like restart. I just go back to the pink Bics. What was I saying? Yes, trying to run a business. So it's just even more hurdles, and I'm not complaining about it. I think the first trans rally I went to, which is now an in joke in the house, not the rally, but there was a far too long speech by somebody who spoke about how hard it is being an ally, and I was a bit like, it's not really the it's not the vibe. It's a lot of effort helping you lot, and it was a bit like, oh, and she didn't mean it like that, but I was still like, oh. Um, but anyone, yeah, anyone sticking up about anything, it's always gonna have a pushback, and I think yeah, I was just like, it's not fair. I think this feels like it's not fair that I get and like, just things like having where I can post my minis be restricted because they're too controversial because it's two women cuddling, nookie in. Um, that and where am I going? Going somewhere on my monologue. The beer beckons. I'm looking at time, going, oh, the thing opens at 12. Um, just yeah, just that it's unfair. So the cost of me posting my gay vignette, having spent an hour or something figuring out the best way to post it on Facebook without getting shadow banned, um, and then getting all of that afterwards. Then cost me a day, probably a day and a half, because I did a half day of work with Ian on Friday. Did finish very easily, um, but where are we? Where am I at? Yeah, so the cost of that was I then lose time, and then I've lost time from all of the other things I need to do to run the company because I'm really behind with all those, say, all the emails and bits that I need to do. And there's some collaborations that I really want to do, but I don't want to start the message chain while I'm behind because I want to be able to start the message and then be reliable at responding and not go, hey, let's do a project. And then, so it's affected my business and myself because I'm entwined with the business. So it's just how it is, and I can't change that. But if people like Curtis, the king, do um, you know do help, it's just the relief, the amount of relief when I saw that he'd posted was just so much. So I think yeah, it's just a bit of a call for a bit more of that, especially in places like Facebook where it can be a bit more boomery. Um, Like I couldn't imagine that happening on Blue Sky, or it just get absolutely annihilated. Um, so yeah, the short version of all of this is I caused a big load of problem, took up people's time, made someone have to give up the group that they own on Facebook, because I'm the worst and I'm ruining the hobby. And that was it. The point was, am I ruining the hobby? I think I am ruining some people's hobby, but then you know, I decided that was what was hobby hell was. So if you die and you go to hobby hell, the hell is actually just watching the 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 hobby get more diverse and you can't do anything about it because you're dead. What? God. Um. Oh, I forgot. Oh, Jez just hopped on. Um. So that's the gist. I've got anything on my note that I forgot. Um. Not naked. Not. No idea what I'd written there. Mid-ground people. Trans. This is my notes. Um. Yeah, you never get the direct reward, and as someone that craves the dopamine, you don't get the reward for doing the thing, but you do get the reward long term. But I would fail the marshmallow test because I want to eat the marshmallow. Before they've even put the marshmallow down, I'm like, oh, marshmallow. So I think that's just the struggle, and I get frustrated when I do lose time. I lose time working on my business because of this, and therefore I can't do as much that I'd really like to do. And then I get more annoyed when someone goes, "Oh, there's some business opportunity in what she's doing there. We'll do that." Um, little words I can't use. Get them, Lil. Get them. Um, Jules is, yeah, then also I want someone to tell me eating the marshmallow was a good idea and I did it very well. Yes. What a good marshmallow eater you are. That's all I want. So yeah, without that immediate reward, it does just get really draining. And as always, this is not me complaining about running Bad Squiddo because I love it. It's just the frustration that if I wasn't me, then it'd be way easier. But unfortunately, Lil raised me as me, so got to got to deal with it. Just blame Lil. I can just blame Lil. I can just send them all to Lil and go, well, do that. Go fight her. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a bit. I was annoyed. Then I was annoyed at myself because I was like, cool, I've let people down by being off on Thursday, because then some stuff that I could have shipped didn't ship and all that sort of stuff. But I think I'm largely over it. But I'm very angry this week anyway. I think there's just so much going on, that I am just a bit nah, probably from that to be fair. But yes, I will wrap up because I'm gonna jump in the shower, get rid of this grease, and the greasy lesbian. And I'm gonna head say if anyone is local, I know Pete in the chat there will be there. It's beer time at Liquid Light, and I already know I'm going to spend some of my money on Kraken Games and Mammoth Miniatures. Probably quite a bit. And Googly Let's Go! Oh god, that's my battery's telling me now anyway. Um, so yes, so I'm gonna go drink some beer, chat to some industry folk and some other general wargamey folk in a brewery. I need to see if I can dig out my Liquid Light t-shirt as well because it's rainbow tie-dye. Oh, good guys, I can see it from the window. It comes. It comes. I said I'm going for a few beers unless the beer consumes me, which may happen. I'm speeding up because this is going to end. But yes, if you're somebody who is not my usual audience and you're watching this, maybe you've came from seeing the shenanigans. I really hope that you've understood what I've come across with in my very bad ramble. And that's it because I always have to tone police because I can't just say this sucks. But that's it. You can't. What I'm really against is um, not giving people a chance. So a lot of people don't understand things, and if you kind of attack them straight away, they're not gonna learn. And I do slowly drip the ideas of equality into people. What a horrible image or lovely image. Um, but yeah, sometimes you do just need to sort of explain the things and give people a chance, because I've got things wrong before. Everyone gets things wrong, um, and yeah, if you are at least, and a lot of people are willing to learn, but I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm distracted by Ravenheart. Yes, new subscriber. It was worth it. Yes. Go check out my things. I've got all these minis, right? And loads of them are gay, and loads of them are vignettes. And there's even trans minis and non-binary minis. And loads of them wear clothes, and there's guinea pigs and capybaras. And loads of the stock levels are wrong because I haven't fixed it. Absolute, but try anyway. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, and Gary's there as well. Look at that. 3 people from the chat are about to have beers with me. I think you should all buy me a beer for Lesbian Visibility Week. I think that's how it works. So yeah, cheers all, yeah, like and subscribe, but also check out what Bad Squiddo do. It is just me, and just me being frazzled a lot of the time. Someone did say recently that I have a sleepy vibe. I'm like, yes, it's constantly brain. But yeah, I'm gonna go shower and beer. It's 40 minutes till it opens. Get out of here. Let's get out of here. Thank you. And I didn't cry. I was I was very wobbly before this, but I'm okay now. And you're all ace. And I hope that people that did think I was overreacting have understood a bit more. And if they're still angry at me, then they can go. Trying to end it quickly so it's cut off at a swear, but no. But yeah, see you all. You will rock. Oh, get a nice expo beer from Andrew Cowie. I'm very excited to see Andrew very soon. And now look, see, everyone's nice. Sorry, I need to go because my battery is about to cut me off. Anyway, bye.